Good morning and welcome to the allotment. It's the 9th of March. I'll just give you a quick update on how things are going. So if you remember a few weeks ago I planted some potatoes in buckets and they've come through, and the rest of the things in the polytunnel are also moving along, and there's a few more things in the polytunnel as well. So let's have a look at what's growing away. Okay, so first of all you can see the buckets, and you can just see hopefully the potatoes poking through in the buckets. I'll just do a couple of those. So they're coming through nicely. Move the lanyard out of the way. Okay, so we've got all the potatoes are starting to come through. So what I've got prepared is for the next set of potatoes, which will be Penton and Javelin. So that's my own compost mix. I've got some bought compost as well, which will help bulk out. And then if we just come down here, you can see that the shallots now are desperate to go out. The red onions are ready to go out. Added to these shallots and onions, I've also got some leeks. Just have a quick look at the other two buckets down here. You can again see that the potatoes are poking through. If we look on the swinging shelf, then on the swinging shelf we've got some cauliflowers. The broad beans are growing away nicely. The sweet peas are getting to a stage where they need the tops trimming out. That might get done this week. And then some cabbage on the end. Talking of cabbage and cauliflower, I've had a look on this bed, and then there's the cabbage that are growing away nicely. And now if I move along here, the cauliflowers, which have had a bit of a weed, those are also growing a lot away. So I should have some collies from these in a few weeks time, hopefully. I won't go through planting all of these, but my next job is to plant out the next lot of potatoes. So you've already seen me do this a few weeks ago when I did the Swift. So I'll start with the bucket closest to me. It'll have some of my own compost in, some of the shop bought compost as well. Then 2 potato tubers go in. Then again a mix of the composts, and when these potatoes get harvested, this compost will be thrown onto beds, whichever beds are empty, so it gets used multiple times. It's not sort of thrown away or anything silly like that. So that's the rest of the job for today. Is simply going to be planting these spuds up, and that will be 12 buckets of potatoes in the polytunnel. And when there's no risk of frost, the end of May, these will be put outside the polytunnel, between the polytunnel and the orchard in that area there, which we've been preparing. So although we've taken the bed out, we're still going to use it as an area for growing. Okay, so I'll share with you some pictures of the spring flowers, and then some of the other jobs that we've done outside. One of the jobs I've done recently is tie in the loganberry. I don't know if you can make it out. So the loganberry bush has all been tied in, and that can just be left to grow away now. It will have a feed applied to the bottom when we clear out. So down here along the bottom we'll just have a little bit of a weed, and then it can have a feed applied to it. bed that had the calabrese in over winter has been cleared and prepared for the next planting, which will be later in the season. And you can see that most of this area now has been covered in membrane, and it's had wood chip put on. There's still a little bit to do around the wildlife pond, but I'll get that done in the next week or so. And if I just scan the camera around here, we've got a little bit of rubbish there, but we've got the blue tub which is forcing the rhubarb. You can see there's some rhubarb just outside the tub as well. And we've got the last bit of the orchard area to get covered with fresh membrane, weeding fresh membrane covered, and then sort that out. Okay, just done the last 2 buckets now, so the potatoes are in, compost is in. One thing I forgot to mention before was a good handful of potato fertilizer, and then that goes in just before the last bit of topping up. So then it's all covered over, make sure they're all covered over, so there's a fair bit in. I think I said before when I did them, you've still got to be wary of frosts. So if there is a forecast for any frost, then these buckets will be covered with a fleece or a netting or a membrane or something, just to give them an extra bit of protection, even though they are inside the polytunnel. Okay, so that's the jobs for today completed, except I need to get some water to water these in, and then, like I say, that's all. Have a look at the spring flowers. See you again soon. Bye for now.